Hey everybody, welcome to Comic Book Curation. I'm Polly, and joining me as always is Inquisitor 8.1 Quiz. How you doing this week?
Glad that I don't need to fill in for you this time.
Well, you did so excellently because I'm so incredibly predictable. You were able to nail it almost word for word, and rounding out our triumphant of awesome, as always, is Jack from Bad Comic Reviews. Jack, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
It's a weird week for news and stories and things of the like. It's a mixed bag, I'm gonna say.
Always seems to be.
Yeah, I have no idea why my chat isn't up to date. Kind of weird things happening over here. I'm just looking over at it and see that the captured chat is moving along wonderfully, but the chat that's up on my screen is frozen.
You get one. That's all you're allowed to have, apparently.
I don't understand what's happening. And chat, just for your own knowledge, I did try and fix my gain level, meaning to go auto gain to level my voice. So when I'm looking away from the mic, it doesn't sound quiet. When I'm turned towards the mic, it doesn't get all ASMR. I wasn't able to figure out that particular, crack that particular nut. But I am continuing to work on it because I feel for the people with headphones that suddenly have to hear me squawking with laughter in their ear loudly out of nowhere. Working on it. I'm working on it. Let's see, what else? Oh, we're right around the corner from 100 episodes. I've already figured out the name of the 100th episode, in case you're curious. Would you like to know?
The episode 100, yay.
Yes, but more. Episode 100, yay, Jacob was wrong.
Yeah.
Don't think I'll do it? I'll do it. I just, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, a certain gentleman by the name of Jacob Jad, who's our friend here online, before we did our first episode, and I said we were going to be going on every Wednesday, and we're going to do comic book curation, and he wrote in chat, and I'll never forget it, nor let him forget it, yeah, let's see how long that lasts. Yeah, 96 episodes, motherfucker, is how long it's lasted so far. Oh shit, poor Jacob. I really let him have it on that, but justly deserved. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, here, let me close the chat and reopen it.
Jacob goes, lol, petty dub.
Oh, fuck.
We're doing this show just to spite you, Jacob.
It's kind of priceless. He was sitting in chat when I announced the name of our 100th episode. How the fuck do I restart my own chat? For Christ's sake. I'm assuming that
F5.
Jacob's actually... What's that?
F5.
Oh, I guess I could do that. Yeah. Remember last week? Okay, chat, I guess you guys don't know this, but last week, here's what happened. I ended the stream on OBS, but I just closed the window for the back end of YouTube, so I couldn't end the stream. So it just kept going and going and going. And do I smell that skunk outside right now? Yes. Yes, I do.
This doesn't like this show, man.
Oh,
Goddamn skunk.
for those of you who don't know, there's been a marauding skunk, and by marauding, I mean smelly, in my neighborhood, and it seems to walk right under the window that I have my computer in. And it's hot outside, so I've got the window open, and I don't have AC because my landlord sucks. And yeah, fuck. I tried.
Please tell me you're not on a second floor.
No, it's a bungalow
Okay.
house I'm in. It's a single level house that I'm in.
Okay. At least you have that going for you.
Yeah.
I actually had no AC on a second floor apartment for a year.
Yeesh.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Oh, I know one thing I can do that I remembered from last week is turn off the goddamn dark reader. You know why? Slows everything down. Off.
Most professional stream on YouTube.
Yeah, don't you guys want to hear about the buttons I'm clicking while I'm just sitting here? Doesn't it make for great content?
Some people have duct tape productions. We can't afford duct tape.
Yeah.
So,
it's chewing gum and baling wire. That's all you get. There we go. Chat's lit up again. Nice. I can see what people are saying.
I agree with Brad Young. That's just your neighbor growing weed, Polly.
Well, see, I had this discussion with a few people that said, wait a minute, was that you? I don't know. I drank. Who was I talking with? It was like a week ago. They said, how do you know there's just not somebody smoking weed in your neighborhood? Was that you, Chris?
I don't remember that. No.
Well, somebody said that. And I argued back to them, what are the odds that they're smoking the same strain of weed in the same 3-hour window 6 to 7 days a week? What are the odds?
50%.
You vastly underestimate the dedication of potheads, dude.
I'm not questioning their desire to smoke weed every day. Every day. I'm talking about yeah. What are the odds that they've got this massive stash of the same strain of skunk weed?
See, you're only smelling it when they open their window because they're hot too.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to listen to the show because they think you're talking to yourself.
That's a good point.
Guy, you see how BG's trying to curse us there in chat? Let's see. Polydub's computer finally dies on episode 99 and it takes 2 months to do the 100th. Man, get fucked.
We're not Linkara. We talk about comics, but we're not Linkara.
Did you learn your lesson?
Yeah.
It'll be out when it's out, you son of a bitch.
I've never watched that guy's show, but I don't like him.
Well,
the handful of times I've seen him on it, like clip shows and stuff like that, he just seems annoying.
He's got some pretty insightful commentary about, namely the All-Star Batman and Robin.
That's because you hated that series.
Oh yes, I do.
I knew it was going to be something with Frank Miller.
Yeah. Let's talk about tragic YouTube channels for a second, and his is one of them. I mean, Linkara, for those you don't know, has he's one of the channel awesome, that guy with the glasses, refugees. I don't know if he's still over there on that.
No, he's not.
No, okay. He's one of those guys, and he was the comic reviewer on that channel, and so he started YouTube channels. A whole bunch of them did, and it's like, man, this was before the whole Comicsgate thing popped off. That guy could have rode it to success, but instead he decided to do what? Go full SJW. And he decided to, go the anti-kick Vic and get involved in all that. And it's like, why, man? You don't do anime? What are you even doing? And it's like, what a moron. He could have just rode the increased interest in comics generally to a higher degree of success or continued success. Because he had thousands and thousands of people watching and subbing to him, but he decided to go full retard. What does he do majority now on his channel? Pokemon games.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Like live streams of Pokemon. And it's like, what? Why? Because truth be told, his series on Frank Miller, even though Frank Miller is my favorite comics writer of all time, and the whole series is set up to critique and bust Frank Miller's balls, is hilarious.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. And the stuff that he has to say about Liefeld is hilarious. All of his reviews of Brigade and what the fuck else, Blood this and Metal that and all that shit.
Guys with pouches and
his reviews of that shit are pretty fucking funny. He reviewed US1. Remember the superhero truck driver?
How could anyone forget US1?
Yeah, well, I had never heard of US1 until his review. Yep, it's true.
That is a crime against God and nature. It's like not knowing Team America, the bikers, or any of the new universe, or tons of obscure characters that everybody should know. Werewolf by Night, Man Wolf. Guys make me sad sometimes. You know that. Thank you. This is Kyle. Here you go, Jack. Here's the money I was going to give to cancer kids so they could get toys before they die, but I think you need it more. Oh, that's dark. Thanks, Kyle.
No. The cancer kids need it more. I got to say that. Holy shit. I was
Why? It's only going to be around a little while for them.
Well, no, if I ever get rich, I'm going to have so much fucking guilt.
Wow. Holy shit.
What is that? How long are they going to be able to be mad at me? Come on, Polly.
Yeah, speaking of
God will be mad at you forever. Let's just keep that. Jesus.
Speaking of things, though, I do want to thank everybody in the chat that subscribed to my Roll for Sandy channel, because it did cross 1,000. That's a huge deal for me. So I wanted to thank everybody for that. please don't unsubscribe because I just got monetized.
Yeah, what happens if you drop beneath the threshold and you're monetized? Do they care?
Yeah, they can take it away.
Can, but don't
Oh.
automatically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. This is Kyle. Here's some money I wasn't going to donate to cancer kids, so at least you can have a clean conscience. I'd have a clean conscience either way, my man.
I'm picturing this as Kyle sitting at his kitchen table with like different piles of money and going, okay, this is for the cancer kids. Nope, going to Jack. Okay, this is for the. This is cold, man. It's cold.
In chat, we have a comic question
Mm.
from TOS. Says, I've got a chance to get a Batman Year 100 for $10. Is it worth it?
Batman Year 100. I pitched it, didn't I, Quiz? It's a great comic. It's a great comic. It's worth having. $10, why not? When they're charging $4 for a brand new comic that might be total crap, $10 for a great comic is worth it. Yeah, why not?
Is it the whole miniseries or the trade?
That's...
If it's the trade, yeah, it's probably worth it. I'm not a big fan of the art style. I don't like that abstract shit. But
it was okay.
Yes, you did pitch Batman Year 100 in episode 74, and I don't know. I've never read it. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, you should.
Wizard is the keeper of the lore. Yeah, if it's something you're interested in, yeah, man, go for it. Yeah, it's trade paperback, $10. Yeah, that's a good price. Make sure you check the condition first. Make sure it's not all beat up and looks like somebody's dog wiped their ass on it. But yeah, that's a good deal.
Okay, so a hardcover version of Batman Year 1. Oh no, sorry, paperback version of Batman Year 100 sells on Amazon for $18.99. But there are used and new offers from as little as $4.31.
Yeah, but once you factor in another $4 for shipping,
yeah, you're looking at maybe paying $2 more for convenience.
Yeah, I would say it's probably worth it.
Oh, thank you. This is Kyle. Hello, chat people and comic nerds. I'm pretty sure me and Quiz are going to hell in an express elevator. You're joking about it. I fear Quiz might have been serious. You don't know what this guy talks like off live. Okay, I've heard it. It's scary.
Well, it's funny. I remember one time I was driving with a friend of mine, and I was backing up, and she had never really driven with me for a while, and I play pretty fast and loose when I'm behind the wheel. I'm always very safe, but I tend to drive fast and maybe more than just a little reckless when I know that there's no one around. But because of that, she was a little weirded out, and we were backing out of like a Target parking lot, and she's watching the behind me in my Jeep, and she goes, "Look, there's a family," and I go, "Oh, don't worry, I'm just gonna kill them all together. I'm not gonna make any orphans."
At least you're fair, I guess. We do have a few questions in the chat, if you don't mind. Polydub, when is One Roman 1984 coming out?
You know what? I was waiting for a Quiz to get to the end of his macabre story. To answer that very
I didn't want him to incriminate himself in any crimes.
Thank you. This is Kyle, by the way. I appreciate it. And thank you, Evolve Potato, for putting our links in chat. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah,
every time. It's extremely helpful. The Wonder Woman, it got pushed back, and then the date that was supposedly teased as its release got withdrawn. Now they're saying October. I don't want to be one of those nerd podcasts where it's like newest leak Easter egg story, but what I heard was October, but I have no inside information. So,
but you know what I did see a commercial for? Weirdly, I was over visiting my folks. They were watching Tucker Carlson, and there was a commercial for New Mutants. It's coming out on Friday, supposedly.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. No asked if I would review any manga. If so, which ones would you review? I'm open to the idea. I have never traditionally liked manga, or manga, if you want to get technical, but I'm not calling it that. I'm using the American translation. But there's some weird copyright rules because of Japan not having fair use laws. So you got to be real careful with that. So I might do those as patron exclusives just to keep from getting in trouble with YouTube.
I'll also say for manga, just in general too, is that the weird bit about it is that it's usually not Japanese companies that go after you for showing off or doing anything like that. It's American companies that have licensed it, and they don't even like if you and I've seen this once before because I tried to upload an edited video making fun of an anime studio, and it was the sort of thing I uploaded a edit and it immediately got flagged and taken down for copyright, and it was from the American licensee, and the anime hadn't even been released in the States yet.
Yeah, yeah, they're real nazified with that stuff.
They
Plus,
are, they're extremely.
if you violate copyright from Japan and then you end up going there, you could be arrested.
Yeah.
It's actually a crime.
Hmm.
So you got to be kind of careful with there's some weird lines you gotta be careful with. So yeah, I would be real hesitant to put any of that public. But that's just like Quiz was just saying. There's all sorts of goofy rules and stuff.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you, Evolved Potato, for the donation. I was gonna give this to orphans and puppies with cancer, but as Polly said, fuck the orphans and puppies, especially the ones with cancer. End quote. So I'll just stop giving to them altogether and give it all to you.
Why did
Thanks,
I ever?
Evolved.
I really want someone who's deep in the lore of streams to go back and find the context under which I said that. Because I actually did say that. Fuck the orphans and puppies. And I'd love to know what the fuck I was talking about that led me to say that.
Your rage against the Shriners or something? I don't know.
The Shriners? You mean a subset of the Freemasons involved with the Illuminati?
Yeah,
he's just really jealous of their tiny cars.
No, it's the fezzes. Fucking fezzes. They're so gorgeous with a little tassel and everything. Dr. No asked also about this. Right. Yeah. The thumbnail for today, which was the image was sent to me by Inquisitor over by DMs. It's what's funny about this. I was talking to Jack before we went live. Is that I went looking for a image of Lady J because the internet is the land of Rule 34, and I didn't want to find actual Rule 34. Jesus Christ, I don't.
You want risque, not porn.
Exact. I mean, I have seen some of the Rule 34 GI Joe. The things they've got Baroness doing to everybody is just disgusting.
Just hot, which is it?
Well, they've got. I mean, there is a hell of a lot of Baroness as a Fuda girl doing all sorts of assaulty things. It's anyway. I digress. And I went looking for like a cheesecake sexy picture of Lady J because, Lady J, hottest G.I. Joe, changed my mind. And Quiz sent this, so I was pretty happy to see it. So yeah, I couldn't help but use this as the thumbnail right away because she is the only G.I. Joe female member that shows cleavage as canon. So, fuck yeah.
Evolved Potato said, tell Polly it was a donation from me that he said it about. Well, that should narrow it down a little.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you? See, I don't. That's why I worry about all of our futures because we got Chad out there going, typing out weird shit and then clipping it and then like, oh my God, look what he said online for everyone to hear. I was reading your donation, you sick bastard. So much for employment.
Were you reading it or were you like, fuck those kids, give me money?
Yeah. I was looking for Lady J Burlesque.
Evolve recommended something called Hellsing, so I added that to my to-read list.
Yeah, Hellsing is a really, really popular one.
Okay, let's check out something nice and light to begin with, because we got some weird ones. Rumor, Warner Brothers eyeing Chris Hemsworth for Mad Max Furiosa.
It's not gonna, like, okay. From everything that they've been talking about for the leaks of the story for Furiosa, it's not going to have Max in it at all.
Why would you call it a Mad Max movie then?
Because it's in the Mad Max universe.
No, not good enough. Mad Max has to be in it.
I know, that's what I would say too, but if it's going to be about Furiosa, especially if it's a prequel, which is going to be the case, it's not going to have anything to do with Mad Max. So Chris Hemsworth being in that movie would just be he's a character in it.
Yes, he's a character supposedly under consideration for a character named Dementis.
Yes.
I love that. Described in the casting description as a man in his 30s to 40s who is breathtakingly handsome and possesses an angel's face, scarred by a deep forehead wounded stitched together with shiny chrome staples. I
Uh,
I
He's so handsome.
I think that kind of goes against the idea of breathtakingly handsome with a stapled together forehead, but
chicks love scars.
oh,
Yeah.
speaking of staples and faces,
Those
While
are
we're on that topic,
yes. I wanted to talk about this before we started talking about different stories and stuff, but whatever, professional. I've been continuing to watch Sarah Connor, The Terminator Chronicles, but the other way around.
okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much, of all potato. I appreciate it. Who says wait a minute, hold on, let me read this first.
just go for it.
Okay, it's fine.
He's got to vet. He's got to vet him.
We got some spicy chat members, is all I'm saying. I donated about being hard to decide to donate to you or orphans and puppies with cancer, or you, and you said fuck them. I didn't make you say it. That was all you. Really? Holy shit.
Condemnation.
Man, I must have been having a bad day. I don't know if I'm going to give this to you or children who are going to die soon. Fuck the children. Like, wow. Okay. Shit. Oh, so I've been continuing to watch Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yes.
So I've come up with a few decisions. Some cemented, some changed. Cemented. Let's start with there. Lena Headey is still hot as fuck. Yes. And they are constantly showing her, or consistently showing her working out, like doing some chin-ups or some push-ups or stuff, because she's Sarah Connor, and that's how she rolls, right? And Lena Headey is an athletic woman to begin with. I noticed that they don't have Summer Glau doing it, though. Even in jest, because they do a lot of humor where she's a Terminator, so she can like pick up big heavy box and move it, and they're like, don't do that, people are watching, that kind of thing. Like they're gonna find out you're a Terminator, so you think they'd have her doing some kind of chin up besides Sarah, like at like Mach speed, to show just how powerful she is? Nope, not once. You know why? Because Summer Glau with them tiny little pipe cleaner arms can't do a single chin up. That's my guess.
No.
No.
I mean, she's fit.
No, she's just thin.
No, she's fit.
No, she's just thin.
I'd do her.
Jack, she's a tiny little thin girl. Of course you'd do her. She's got all the thigh gaps. I get it. That's fine. We're not here to indulge your whatevers.
That's your rule.
Have you guys ever heard of the notion, Quiz, you've been watching a bunch of Red Letter Media, I'm sure it's come up for you, the idea of a film written by aliens?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Jack, you've heard this notion?
I've heard somebody use that phrase before, and I grasped the concept from it. But
fair enough. It's like all the pieces are there. The plot points. There's a man and a woman. There's conflict. There's a kid who's coming of age. Whatever. All the basic pieces are there, but it's put together in such a way that you would think that somebody who isn't human did it. Like it's like there's something that's just off. That's not quite right because humans don't act this way or talk this way. I'm beginning to suspect that Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, might be a plot of Skynet. It is actually written by a robot from the future, because it has time travel capabilities, Skynet, and it has gone back in time, and the persons writing this show are actually Terminators to convince us that the whole thing is one giant piece of fiction, so we don't try and stop the future. Because goddamn, elements of that show are just like, what the fuck just happened? Humans don't talk to each other this way, or relate this way, or act this way. And that is one of the key problems with that. I would rather see 25% cut out of the budget of that, because they actually do a lot of car chases and explosions and other things. And I'm kind of impressed with the budget of it and the ambition of what they attempt to do in that series. But I'd rather seen that money thrown at a more qualified screenwriter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would disagree. I think the only thing that aliens are actually, I would say yes, Skynet probably wrote that, but as far as aliens writing shows or movies, I think they only write Hallmark movies.
Well, okay, I'll tell you this. Angela says actually she is pretty fit. Well, okay, look, it depends on your definition of fit. I'm not gonna. I don't think she's a couch potato by any stretch of the imagination. And is she a dancer? Yeah, absolutely. Because they took advantage of it in one episode that I just ended up watching, where it's like, oh, you do ballet? You're actually capable of ballet? Yeah, okay, well, we're going to get you as a robot doing ballet because, free production value, right? We don't have to teach you how to do it. And completely fake it with body doubles like Natalie Portman won her Academy Award for. Oh, side shiv. But it's true. Black Swan, bitch couldn't dance, and she carried on and on and on about how she trained for a year to be able to dance when 90% of the dance scenes are actually done by a body double. Lying fucking bitch. I got a beef against Natalie Portman, in case you can't tell. Just becoming a worse and worse actress over time, and everybody celebrates her more and more, and it's tragic. And you ain't no Jane Foster, and you certainly ain't no Thor. Am I right?
No, Thor.
Here we go. Growing up in Texas, Glau planned on a ballet career and was homeschooled to accommodate her rigorous training schedule.
Oh yeah, she does the full ballet thing, like a full scene, and she's clearly very adept at it. Like, I don't think ballet's easy by any stretch of the imagination. And lots of dexterity and all that. Like it.
So she's flexible. Nice.
Oh yes.
Broken toe was a serious setback for her. So that's why she got into acting, because her career was blown when broke a toe.
Damn. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have taken advantage of it too. So, Angela, to your point, I think that if you consider like that type of physical dexterity and nimbleness and spryness to be an aspect of fit, yeah, okay, she's fit. I mean, fit like Sarah Connor, looking cut, can like flat out sprint for 15 minutes straight, and then do a 5K run afterwards, like fit like that. Like,
look, man, dancers are fit in that way and then some. I mean, what's his name? Roadhouse, Point Break. Patrick Swayze. Yeah, he was an infamous dancer.
Yeah, maybe
an infamous one.
Yes.
Like,
no,
I mean, have you seen Dirty Dancing, Polly?
Well, I famous. You know, infamous.
Yes, infamous.
What was
he knocked up a lady? Come on.
By dancing?
Maybe.
That is such, I was supposed to ask some goddamn dirty dancing. Holy fuck.
Look, maybe this chick, instead of sprinting, like you said, she would do little leaps in a tutu, and that's how she would terminate people. Just picture a Terminator in a tutu.
You know what? I don't get this. I got Shady saying this. Is like, I would do Summer Glau. If Polly wouldn't, he's the big gay. I'm sitting here talking about how incredibly sexy the main character is, and somehow I'm gay because I don't like the other character. Man, y'all are weird, man.
I like Summer Glau.
I personally find competency sexy as hell. You know what I'm saying? That's why fuck off, every one of you. Okay, anyway.
You should watch Firefly then.
Why?
And Serenity.
Why? I've seen Serenity.
You have? You remember the whole scene where Summer Glau's character fucking rips apart like every single person in this like badass martial arts display?
Yeah, she had too many clothes on.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Really quick, Summer. Yeah, Summer Valine, Gamer Valine, thank you very much for the donation. Speaking of comic book curation, English major in the room, is there anything out of the late 80s, early 90s you're looking for that might be in my pile? Would any of you like an inventory list if I have something you're missing? Wow. Do you have a full inventory list already? If you have one already done, I'd absolutely be interested in seeing it, if only to see what you have there. Because, yeah, you might have some gems in there, and, I'm sure Jack and Quiz would be interested in seeing but what might be missing. So, yeah, I'd hate to think you'd go through a whole inventory list just for us, though. Creating one's a little, involved.
Yeah, I don't want to make people do extra.
Yeah.
I'm pretty lazy. I'm so far behind my comic reading anyway.
And if you are dead set on it, before you do I know you're an English major, but before you do a typed inventory list, a pictorial inventory list would be faster. Phone, snap images, we'll know what's what. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Taking all those pictures and then just zipping them into a zip file, I think that'll be a lot faster than a Word file, in my opinion. But where were we? Oh, I've really warmed up to the FBI agent character. I didn't like him in the first couple of episodes, and now he's like, wait a minute, this guy's cool. So, changing opinions and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. I only just started the second season. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, the writing is just bad. We got to do, we've done this before with comics and movies and stuff, where there's a given movie and it's like, okay, look, this could work, but what you need is a scene. No, what they should have done is, yeah. And we'll like, pitch ideas up for and just us and our amateur bullshit can come up with better stuff than Damon Lindelof, because Damon Lindelof is an overpaid hack. You know what I'm talking about here? Like, core ideas are not bad. Like in the first episode of season 2, in order to create tension, they have Summer Glau, who's like come back in time and is a Terminator T-88 model, and she is reprogrammed by John Connor, an overused idea in the franchise, but whatever, there it is, to be John's protector in the past. But she turns, quote, evil in that she got caught in an explosion, and she it fucked with her programming, and now she reverted to her original programming and sees John Connor as the target to terminate. So it's kind of like, oh, now our friend is after us. You should have, I'm not like, no spoilers, but you should have seen the way that it went. It was like, that's what you did with it? Like, she's evil, she's not. But how? Why? By what means? What happened? Did you guys fire your writer and just end the episode with the cinematographer guessing at what should happen? That's the way it came across. Anyway. Gamer Valine says, I'm not the English major. Jack, I'm an engineering major. A list wouldn't take me long. But they've been in a box since 2011 and my ex didn't take them, so I'm offering them up. Oh, I see. The English major in the room would be Jack. Well, holy shit.
I'm not a good English.
Yeah, Jack is, seen his grammar?
It is bad.
You know he's an Oxford comma apostate, right?
Don't judge me.
How many spaces after a period, Jack?
It depends. I usually go with just 2.
Okay.
But I've seen as many as 5, which is insane. And some people use 1. I typically end up, when I correct stuff, it ends up being 1, but it should be 2.
You know what? It should be 2. And I get this speech about how that dates to the days of typewriters and blah, blah. And I don't care if it dates to ancient Egypt. I'm still putting 2 fucking spaces after my period because it's more clear that the sentence has ended. That's my stylistic choice. Get fucked. And I have people attempting who are proofreading stuff that I've typed up, like for scholastics, for academics. And I'm like, I didn't ask you for that kind of proofing. That's formatting. Go away. Yeah. And
I don't. Not only that is that the 2 space after it, it's for proper kerning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for knowing that word. Also, it's just.
Well, I'm horrified that all of us know all this, but look, I don't have a problem with the single space between sentences. My main complaint with modern grammar and formatting is the lack of indentation of paragraphs.
You know what? I was just about to say before Quiz started talking. That is my other thing. I do not care if justified writing and block paragraphs have taken over because of the internet and the need to save space, et cetera, et cetera. Fuck you. I will indent my paragraphs until the grave. Yeah.
Yeah, just because you created a blank space between paragraphs does not justify being lazy on the next thing. Just put the space in so we all know where it starts. It's easier to scan something that way. So annoying.
It so is. I mean, anyway, we've gone off the track, but because it's like these minor things that shouldn't really be a big issue when it comes to formatting, where it's like, this is good, it's clean, it's worked for decades, if not centuries in some cases, and people are like, no, the internet is here, and we should spell you are. Go all the way to hell. I'm not.
Do not pass go.
I am not changing now. Ebony Williams says, I have a brother who asked him about the period thing because he's an English major too. I'd be curious to see what he says. I'd like to think that English majors are all have the same kind of that they're like of the pure faith, where they're like 2 spaces after period, split your infinitives when you want, indent your pair. I'd like to think they're all like that, but we'll see. By the way,
all hell the Oxford comma. You get over there. You practice your apostrophes.
What should we go with? Next, let me look around. Yeah, and by the way, let me just little side hint. People
Oh
often
God.
get confused with the its thing. Do you apostrophize its? No, apostrophize isn't a word. Don't worry about it.
Apostrophe is only used for when you are abbreviating it is.
Exactly.
Every other time you
And
do
people
not
say,
use
but what about the possessive comma? What about the possessive apostrophe? Not with its.
Yeah,
Ever.
it's the only version.
Yeah.
The only time where it's not possessive.
Do I put an apostrophe in its? Are you contracting it is? Then yes. Every other situation, regardless of context, the answer is no. I see people fuck that up all the time. And it's like, just so you know, in case you were curious, that's the rule. Only if you're contracting, like Quiz says. Every other time, never. Because, well, if it's possessive, it doesn't count with its. English is tough. It's the way it is.
Yeah, the old potato said indenting paragraphs? Question mark. Yes, you're supposed to indent your damn paragraphs.
I was gonna say there's a really damn good Gallagher routine of all about this, talking about how the fact that he was an English major and he was doing the whole uh first day I went into class, teacher said, "Do you know the word little?" And he goes, "Yeah," or no, sorry, "Do you know the word big?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's I understand the concept of the word big." And she goes, "Oh, okay." And he goes up to the board and writes BIG. And he goes, "Wait a minute, that word's little." And she goes, "No, that's not little. This is little, LITTLE." And it was twice as big. And I realized this is gonna be hard.
Wow.
Yeah. It sounds like it's your problem. Yeah, you've properly used its, James Colley. Well done.
Yes.
Just a quick little side note. People wonder why the fuck am I talking about this and tweeting about this? Because I'm writing two different things right now that I've submitted, and people that are proofreading are returning formatting corrections. And it's like, and then in reading through their notes, I'm spotting errors myself that I didn't spot when I submitted the draft. And I'm like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like pointing out these things, not, really in the modern flip, you shouldn't be indenting your paragraphs. And the Oxford comma is actually uses the Oxford comma is passe.
Oh.
This person is paid to do this, and they're format style checking me. Anyway, it's been on my mind. Anyway, let's go on. Iron Man actor Robert Downey Jr. reportedly wants Johnny Depp for a role in Sherlock Holmes sequel. I'm all for this.
Johnny Depp's okay.
Sure. Oh, is this job gonna be to beat some chick up? They could cast Amber Heard.
Well, yeah, I know. I'd
Revenge.
slap her around a little bit.
Yeah, ex-Bubba Hotep has the right opinion. He's willing to die on the hill of double spacing after periods. Good. It's the way to be. UK-based news outlet The Express reports that according to, quote, a senior source at Warner Brothers, Bob wants Johnny on board come hell or high water. The upcoming Sherlock Holmes film will be a sequel to Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows. It will see Jude Law, Rachel McAdams, and Robert Downey Jr. reprised their roles as Dr. Watson, Irene Adler, and the titular detective, respectively. Look,
Wait,
look at her forehead.
Irene
What are
Adler?
you complaining about? It's fine. Rachel McAdams is hot. You're wrong.
Irene Adler dies in that movie.
Yeah, she does.
And
But
is Jude Law going to be reprising his role as Watson?
yeah, I just said.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that one.
But I mean, supposedly Sherlock Holmes ostensibly died in the film too. But then you see him for the last second, famous Reichenbach Falls and so forth. You know.
Look, we know she died because when her head hit the table, it didn't crack the table in half because that showed restraint. With her giant forehead, she would have smashed that table.
The Warner Brothers source has also noted that Downey Jr.'s wife, Susan Downey, is a co-producer and would like her husband. She has been a close friend of Johnny, his previous partner, Vanessa, and their two children for years. Could you make this sound more incestuous?
Maybe.
Holy shit. So I get it. Robert Downey Jr. is just like a multi-quabillionaire at this point and has producer power and every other goddamn thing. But I mean, don't share this stuff that he's basically calling the shots because his starship in the movie, starring in the film, kind of gives him complete control. Jesus. According to the Express, Downey Jr. recently said, "There's nobody I admire more than Depp." Well, the Pirates of the Caribbean actor stated that the two had, quote, known each other for 1,000,000 years and came up through the ranks together. Translation, doing drugs off the back of toilets in public bathrooms.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. The development was covered by YouTuber. Well, whatever. Okay, the story's done. It was covered by YouTube.
YouTuber, not us. Fuck them.
A lot of people had problems with the Sherlock Holmes movies. I was not one of them. I'm a big Sherlockian. Not one of them. What are they called? Those weirdos on Tumblr quiz? Who Lockians? Whatever.
Well, those are the people that like
They
they
ship the three things. What are they?
Well, there's Doctor Who, Sherlock, and I can't remember the other thing. That's more Far's wheelhouse than mine.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but it sounds horrific.
There's some.
Oh yeah, it is. It's Tumblr shit.
Yeah,
well, you don't go on Tumblr. There's creepy, weird garbage there by teenagers.
I've never been a fucking on Tumblr in my life, but you just hear these fucking things. Yeah, there's a whole group out there that's constantly shipping shit, and apparently one of them is Sherlock and so forth. So people don't like deviation from the pure Sherlock. I thought the movies were a lot of fun, and it's as close as you can get Sherlock Holmes to being an action film and still pulling it off reasonably. And people are like, Robert Downey Jr.'s English accent is shit. Yeah, it is. I don't care. He's still charismatic as fucking fun to watch. So leave it alone.
Yeah. I like the movies, but to say that Sherlock is pure is asinine. Everybody knows the real Sherlock Holmes was Jeremy Brett from the 80s show. That was the real Sherlock Holmes.
Clive is the real. Okay, whatever.
No, Jeremy Brett.
All right. Well, you can say that all you want. I have both on DVD, and I'm just telling you. Whole series.
Jeremy Brett TV series, best Sherlock Holmes ever. You haven't watched it if you're not agreeing.
No, I disagree with that. Assassin of the Grey said Sherlock Holmes being played by an American is just as wrong as Steve Rogers being played by a Briton. No, see, okay, we Americans are better than the Britons. We can do everything. The Britons can do nothing.
Well, I mean, you have. It's sort of all over the place. You have a Brit being played by in Sherlock Holmes. You have a Brit being played by an American, and an American being played by a Canadian. That movie's all over the place. Who cares?
Nah, I'm okay with it because Americans can do everything, but Britons can do nothing. Fine.
Alpha, I did like Basil Rathbone, but Jeremy Brett was a superior actor. I have to disagree on that one.
Are you a reader of the Holmesian canon at all, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And so, I mean, being someone, and 4 novels, 56 short stories, there's only so much material to read, plus the Apocrypha. Do you have a problem with the films? Did you they clearly have pulled elements from all over the canon, right, to kind of create those movies. I heard a bunch of people complaining in different boards, and I'm on different Sherlockian boards online, saying that was a mishmash. You should have told one straightforward story. And I'm like, bullshit. What are you talking about? It was really cleverly and tastefully done, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like the new Star Trek movies. You can still enjoy them for the homage, but they're very different from the original source material.
That's a good way to put it. They're not a pastiche. They're an homage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to update it with some action because people are dumber and borderline illiterate. And there's some stuff in the books and the stories that really didn't hold up well, like his interest in phrenology. That gets overlooked a lot because it was a science at the time, but we've moved away from that for some reason.
Yeah.
I, for one, can see somebody's criminal head shape and know that I should be associating with them. So phrenology may have more to it than we dared to dream. But yeah, I mean, jokes aside, yeah, there's some elements there that just don't hold up with forensics and stuff like that, but they're still canon, technically.
You know what's funny is we're talking about who like Basil Rathbone in the original series. I can see that over there. Great stuff. But you know who occupies for me fictionally Sherlock Holmes to the point where that's the person's voice I hear when I read the stories now? The voice actor who did it for the complete BBC radio dramatizations of the Holmesian canon, Clive. Fuck, I'm trying to remember his last name. Like, he just so embodies Holmes to me that that's the voice I hear now when reading the stories. You should if you guys haven't checked them out, the BBC radio plays are available on YouTube. They're up on different websites. If you're a fan of Sherlock, Yeah, man, they are so well done, and they were so well received that after doing the complete canon, all 56 short stories and 4 novels, they started doing original pastiche stories because they were just that popular. They're so good, so well done. Each of them an hour long, you know, except for the novel ones that are like in parts. You know what I mean? So there's condensing and rewriting, and they're great. Anyway, yeah, I'm all for this Johnny Depp in coming in Sherlock. I even like Sherlock Holmes' character redesign. Like you know, he's got, it's kind of like hipster Holmes almost. You know what I mean?
I have found nothing wrong with those movies. I liked
No,
them.
yeah, perfectly enjoyable films. But I'm gonna tweet out a link to the YouTube release of Jeremy Brett as Sherlock Holmes and Hound of the Baskervilles on my D Reviewer account because I think he's the one that nailed Holmes the best. And
You know, it was like a month back that somebody that I had met, friend of a friend, said I'm a big fan of Sherlock Holmes, and they made that super common mistake. They said the Hounds of Baskerville.
um, did you beat them?
And it's like, you're a fan, huh? You know, it's it's like, I'm a big fan of Star Wars. I really love the Jedi Strikes Back. I see.
I liked it when the
Look,
Enterprise
man.
went to that Vulcan planet and fought Darth Vader.
Look, man. Return of the Empire was just not as good as Empire as the Jedi Strikes Back, right? Fine.
Well, it was all their use of critters and gremlins that really threw me off.
Right?
Now, I haven't read this story, so let's find out what's going on. After plummeting viewership numbers, Star Trek boss Alex Kurtzman announces the first season of Star Trek Discovery will air on CBS in September. Dun, dun, dun.
They gotta put it on TV. No one's watching the CBS All Access.
Yeah, exactly. We've already drained as much flagshipping out of this as we can for All Access. We might as well release it and try and see if we can pull in a little bit of extra money through ad revenue. Star Trek boss Alex Kurtzman announced on Twitter that the first season of Star Trek Discovery will air on CBS in September, no doubt to dismal reviews. And since Nielsen and other viewership trackers through television will be able to tell us the actual viewership numbers instead of CBS All Access lying and claiming that their numbers are through the roof when they're totally not, you know? Kurtzman wrote on Twitter, Black Alert! Star Trek... What?
Alert?
Oh, instead of a red alert.
What?
What the fuck is a black alert?
Yeah, what's going on?
Anything I say will sound racist. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I understand because is it because the captain? Because if so, that's kind of racist. I don't understand. What the fuck's a black alert? Is that some nerd thing I'm unaware of? It totally could be.
Oh, well, yeah, apparently it's got an entry in Memory Alpha. Black Alert, otherwise known as Condition Black, was an alert signal used on the USS Discovery
Oh, there you go. That's why I don't
and
know
the
it.
USS Glenn in 2256 to signify when the ship is operating under experimental spore drive.
Well, that is why I don't know. I saw the series and quickly excised it from my memory, and I really don't care what you're doing in your corporate fan fiction.
Yeah.
It's not canon. Canon ended with Enterprise. Go to hell. All right. Black Alert, Star Trek beams to broadcast for a limited time with a special presentation of the first season of CBS All Access Star Trek Discovery coming to CBS Network beginning September 24th, and no one gives a fuck. This will be the first time an entire season of Star Trek Discovery will not be behind CBS All Access's paywall in the United States of America. CBS previously aired the first episode of Star Trek Discovery for a limited time on YouTube, and nobody gave a fuck. The first blah, 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 blah. Let's see. In its final episode, the show did not even break the top 30 most viewed shows in Canada, whereas Jack explained apparently because of laws, those numbers are known there, where they're not in other venues. PYC 2018 Primetime was the least viewed show in the top 30 with 927,000 viewers, which means Discovery had less than 927,000 viewers by the season ends. This means the show was at least 1.3 million viewers in the course of lost at least 1.3 million viewers in the course of 15 episodes. That's almost a 60% loss of their audience from there. In your face. In your face. Not only did the show bleed viewers in Canada, but received poor audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes. The first season currently has a 51% audience score from 8,400 ratings. That's an average of 2.95 out of 5. But the reviewers liked it because they still want to get interviews, and if they give it bad marks, they're fucked.
So, does brown alert mean the toilets are overflowing?
That sounds like a joke from the lower decks.
Yeah, but I wrote it.
Yeah, you did.
It was actually funny though. Look, they've been shitting out this garbage for a while. I think those Rotten Tomato numbers are highly inflated. I don't know anybody that's liked STD, like in real life, other than some like internet dumbasses. But yeah, I don't get it, man. I think this is a desperate move because their numbers are in the toilet and they need extra money, so they got to get some ad revenue.
Sure.
And it'll just fire up the controversies all over again.
Yeah, they're. If you don't
No one's gonna watch
watch the show, bigot.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it, Alpha. I think the numbers are inflated. Look, I think this is going to introduce a lot of normies that passively like Star Trek, but they're not, running out buying the DVDs or anything, but they'll watch it when it's on TV. They'll watch this and be like, what is this crap?
Hey,
and stop watching it.
Hey, let me tell you something. Your boy Zach, Richard Meyer, he did a review of the whole series on his second channel on Splato D'Agato. And to cement the fact that the man has absolutely awful taste, he liked it.
Yeah.
So I everyone knows that. Everyone who's a fan of Comics Matter, everyone knows the man has absolutely terrible taste in film. Even he admits, he goes, I don't understand why nobody agrees with it. It's just come to terms with it, man. The things you watch and like suck. It's just let's check out this other story related. Oh shit, flash on screen. Star Trek boss Alex Kurtzman explains what the mission of the franchise is. This should be good. I haven't read the story.
Making money, probably.
Yeah, that's just speaking with Deadline. Kurtzman breaks down the future of the plans for Star Trek's expansion and discusses, quote, the mission he has undertaken with the franchise thus far. Why would you show a picture of Gene Roddenberry? That was a man with vision. You're a corporate company man hack. In the interview, Kurtzman states that his mission with the franchise is to make the world better. Oh my
God. No, it should be to make an interesting story. So that you can sell products like toys and merchandise. And build a fandom.
Everybody in chat watching, everybody who's going to be watching in the future is going to look at this and go, yeah, there's the problem right there. The guy who's at the helm of the ship thinks things like this. He's viewing an intellectual property with many, many fans, this wonderful fictional world full of imagination and inspiration and so forth, is a therapeutic political tool to re-educate the world.
That's the problem with a lot of shows nowadays. That's why they're tanking so bad. Look at that Terminator Dark Fate. We knew from the commercial it was going to be garbage.
Yeah. I would say I actually went and watched AP's video on that, and I was pleasantly surprised to figure out how accurate our video just talking about the trailer was.
Yeah. I was about to call our predictions frighteningly accurate. No, our predictions were accurate. It was frighteningly predictable.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I mean,
which is worse.
And I've seen Dark Fate. Sure, it had a bigger budget, but even Sarah Connor Chronicles is fucking better written, even though it seems like it was written by Skynet itself. Anyway, the mission, he explains, was inspired. The mission, he explains, was written by inspired by Roddenberry's original philosophy towards the series, wherein the Star Trek creator sought to, quote, create something that can show us the best of who we are and can act as a compass that we can follow towards a future that's better than the one we're living in now. You're lost. You're taking the guy. This is, you know what this is? This is exactly what fucking the SJWs over at Marvel. And yeah, I know people are sick of that term. So what? Come up with a better one. It describes them fucking well. They're out of their mind and they're actually on a mission. They're warring for something, which is social justice, as they view. They're social justice warriors. Come up with a better name, we'll use it.
Insurgents.
Cultural insurgents.
Social justice insurgents.
Yeah. SJIs. All right. The SJIs over at Marvel Comics, right? They use Stan Lee's line of the world outside your window, and they use it and twist it and label every bullshit thing they do with it in an attempt to justify their garbage.
Yeah, because they lack originality and creativity, so they have to say, "Well, it's just made realistic." Well, you live in a little bubble, and you're a sad, pathetic person who's miserable, so you want to share that. That's not the world outside your window.
The Great Bird of the Galaxy, which is Roddenberry's nickname, it's even on his tombstone, was a brilliant man, a humanist, and some would argue a secular humanist. Confine your thinking to that, and you will understand Roddenberry's vision. He was just an unprejudiced man, not an actively social developing man. He saw a certain forward momentum for things, but then he also had visions of a third world war that would kill tens of millions of people because nation states and the things that happen and occur. And I mean, it's fuck you, Kurtzman. This is, haven't you fucked it up enough? Like, don't. Anyway, Kurtzman then stated that Roddenberry's hopeful vision of the future is needed now more than ever because Trump, right? He continued, I think it's our responsibility to uphold it and allow future generations of kids and past generations of adults who are long-term fans to be reminded of how important it is to see through Gene Roddenberry's eyes. So that's the mission, right? Let's show people a future that's better, concluded Kurtzman. Holy fuck. That sounds like, look, there he is right there. Fuck you. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Let me interview you. And just say, what the fuck do you mean by that specifically? Well, and then starts going off into some fucking flowery watercolor image, and I could cut him off halfway and go, no. Look, I don't care if I ever get to interview you or anybody else again from your fucking misbegotten show that Star Trek fans don't even fucking like. Like, I mean, haven't you... He looks like ultra beta male. He's just missing the beta male face with his mouth wide open. Dude, haven't you the hate you get online? Do you understand? Make an argument to me whereby I can accept that fucking Russian bots and alt-right trolls by the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, are responsible for the negative fucking reviews you've gotten on your show. You can only dump so much off to the alt-right. I mean, think about it. You've taken a very, very successful franchise and have managed to turn off fans all over the place to the point where past series DVD sales and streaming numbers have gone up, where your new productions views have gone down. I mean, think about that for a second. You're driving them to the older material. What does that tell you?
Has he ever seen the original show?
That's a great. You know what? That would be a great fucking question, Jack. Is like, how would you compare and contrast Captain Kirk to any one of your new captains? How do you think Christopher Pike is presented in the original series and remembered in the original series compares to the Christopher Pike that you're using now? I should actually lay off Christopher Pike because he's a half decent character in the new one, and that's not because he's constantly mentioning virtue signaling bullshit. I mean, don't you think transplanting literal current day stuff into the future is really just transference of your political anxieties and other garbage? That's not being a good writer. That's being a fucking hack. I could point out again and again and again the excellent morality plays that have happened on Star Trek, dealing with race, religion, fucking nation-state battles, fights over territory, limited resources, and they're all done brilliantly because they're not obviously and blatantly connected, and most importantly, they don't tell you what the answer is. They present the complexity of the problem.
Yeah, well, the show always ended with like a sense of hope too. Like there was always like the sense that things could get better
Well,
on
not
the
all the
original
time.
show. Not all the time,
Okay.
but more often than not. In
Well,
the original show, I'm talking about, not
yeah,
the new shit.
yeah.
Uh, but the original series always had kind of a sense of like the crew had hope that things could always improve. There's no
Yeah.
sense of that. Everything is so dark and bleak on these new shows. It's always
Well,
like, oh, everything's as bad. Oh, fascist this, blah, blah, blah. There's never anything where people act heroic. They all seem very self-serving and self-interested, and what they're doing is more important than anything anybody else is doing. There's no sense of the moral conflict or anything like that.
I would say that some of the most interesting episodes of Next Generation are the ones that do end with that sort of ambiguity. Like the I can't remember, there was one episode where like the oh, Polly, you've told me about it. It's the one with the gender dynamics where there was the third gender neutral one that kind of wanted to become a refugee and leave with
Yeah.
the Enterprise, but they had to send her back.
Yeah.
That's a very big morally ambiguous ending, one where you're questioning the
It
legitimacy of the people that are ending up performing the actions.
what a
So
fantastic example. I was thinking of like other TOS episodes, but that one's an even better example of it. They don't give you the answer. All they do is splay out the difficulty with the problem in like the issue, right? You have one guy who's like takes a certain position with the third gender thing, the progenitor that they require for sexual reproduction, but don't treat like real people with those people they're visiting, that alien race they're visiting, right? And he's like, no, this isn't right, human rights, and so on and so forth. And they don't have the prime directive yet, and they have to send her back, and all the show ends on the most depressing note you can imagine, because everything goes wrong for everybody involved. And nobody is in the right. And everything ends up fucked up because somebody tried to do the right thing and it blew up in their face. It's it's epic. Like in the moral ambiguity of the whole thing. It's great.
But the crew still has hope that, it's not ending necessarily on a downer note, because the crew still thinks that there could be positive change. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Mhm.
Like they're not sitting there like, oh well, this planet's fucked, let's go.
Yeah.
They have all these rules they have to abide by with the prime directive and all non-interference, all that bullshit. But even before that, they were still working within a framework, and the crew of the ships always seem to have a positive attitude about how things can work out. And the new shows, I don't get that impression. Everybody seems very much nihilist. If that makes any sense. They seem self-centered and focused on themselves. They don't seem to really care about what they're doing. There's nobody saying, hey, this is wrong. They're not having that moral conflict. They're just sort of blundering around. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, no, the
No, you
blundering
are.
around thing. Yeah. It does.
I would say that this whole thing is very reminiscent. I've told Polly here and Jack before we've gone live that I've been binging the shit out of Red Letter Media. I never watched Red Letter Media before, but now I've been watching a whole bunch of their videos. And one of the ones that I watched is the review of Star Trek Discovery, because I've never been interested. I've never really known anything, and if I can get some humor out of it, because those guys are really funny, I'll watch something like that I have really no interest in consuming, just to get some laughs. And the one consensus that they seem to come to is that the showrunners for Star Trek Discovery are treating it like an action film rather than a uh, problem to solve of the episode, and like an adventure, or doing what the show should be called, which is discovering things. um
We'll do that.
right. And like, these people aren't explorers. They're trying to make Star Trek into a military drama.
Yeah.
Which, granted, I've talked to Polly about it. It's like, I think that could be an interesting angle to take Star Trek at some point, because I want to know about, like, say, the Federation and Romulan wars. I want to know about how the Klingons came to be an ally rather than an enemy to the Federation. That sort of stuff has me interested, because it taps into the whole.
Watch Star Trek 6, the Undiscovered Country.
Oh.
That's how.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. Is that the one where they go to meet God?
no, that was 5.
That's 5.
Oh, okay.
It was.
Nobody talks about that one.
So I don't think I've seen Undiscovered Country then.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's
no, I've not.
of all the Star Trek films, that's my favorite. I wouldn't argue it's the best. That's Wrath of Khan, but my favorite one is 6.
Cold War epic, man. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it really lines stolen right out of the Cold War, like famous moments and stuff like that. Yeah, it's great. It's great. What do you do when 2 long enemies are now leading to a cessation of hostilities? What do the Cold Warriors do with themselves? It's a great theme for a movie, and it really works. And Kirk is the dinosaur Cold Warrior. He's so used to hating Klingons. How could he possibly operate in a world where there's no enemy anymore? It's great. It's a fantastic film. Now, chat, let me ask you something. If somebody were to tell you this, ask yourself, what information have you gained? Alex Kurtzman goes on to say this. About exploring different corners of the universe is what they want to do, expanding the series. In the same way that short treks explore different corners of the world of Star Trek, the idea being that a show would have its own unique identity, and you should not be thinking that you can get from one show what you can from another. Everything has to feel different, unique, special, and specific. And yet, you want it to all be of a piece and to tie into the larger Trek universe. What the fuck? These aren't even, this sounds like one of those fucking automated pieces of software that can generate books. Like like there's nothing there. What have we learned? We want each one to be different but similar. Thanks, Kurtzman.
No, you mispronounced one word in there. See, you read that sentence a little wrong. If I may correct you, everything has to feel different, unique, special, and specific.
Well, see, that was a masterful sentence of saying absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
He was saying it needs to be new and unique, while also being exactly the same and what the people that are watching expect.
This is how I interpreted Kurtzman saying, "It's not for you. You don't get it. You're fucking dumb."
Yeah,
because it's amazing. You're just not getting what we're putting down. Yeah,
it's the sort of thing is he's defending his work from people that are defenestrating it, throwing it out a window. He's just sitting there saying like, you're just not getting it because I'm way too high-minded for you.
Oh yeah,
it's pretentious as fuck.
He's trying to sound high-minded. I don't. Again, if I was the interviewer, I'd say, okay, did you want to? What the hell did all of that mean? Like I would just be hostile and confrontational with the guy. Because I couldn't help it. Because it's just you talked for 2 minutes there and you said nothing quotable, nothing of substance that I would want to put in a story. So you want everything to fit into the larger whole, but be different enough. Yeah. You couldn't have sent some fucking unpaid staffer intern to tell me that? What the fuck did you even bother showing up here for today? When I say where do you want to go with the show, it means in terms of themes, specifically. What kind of themes? What kind of characters did you want? What kind of adventures? What kind of mysteries? Whatever. We want to do things that are good, that people will like, that stuff, and yay, hi mom. Like, it's just, what the fuck?
He looks like a smelly version of the bald guy from the Blue Man Group on Arrested Development.
Okay.
Arrested Development fans know who I'm talking about. But he also seems to really just be focused on trying to dodge the answer of, I want a social justice show.
Right.
I want the least offensive and the Mary Sue, and he wants all his cake and eat it too. And he still expects the old fans to fall in line, even though the show has nothing to do with what other shows were. It's very disingenuous, and it's just an attempt to milk people out of money and at the same time appease his street cred of social justice. It's a bunch of nonsense. These people are infectious little insurgents. They get in hobbies and destroy them. He's doing this with Star Trek. We've seen Roundhead do it with Star Wars, along with Kathleen Kennedy, and Marvel Comics. All these other places are doing it with D&D now. They're going to do this to everything they can weasel into and destroy from within. They're monsters. David Cross, thank you, Hate Camel.
Maybe we could coin the phrase and just have it go from here. Call them locusts, because we talked before. Yes. I think it's a great metaphor for them. They raise an entire field right down to the stubble and then move on to the next thing, right? They're mindless automatons, kind of like, the whole NPC thing set of SJWs, right? If it also alludes that there's some form of horrific biblical plague, which they're not that far off from, a path of destruction left in their wake. They're locusts.
They are.
Social justice locusts.
SJLs. Okay, I've got the shortest story ever, but I just, whatever. YouTuber Leafy banned from platform for violating harassment policy after producing a series of videos on Twitch streamer Pokimane. Now, the only reason that I bring this up is to say, fuck Pokimane. Did
Well,
Yes.
that was a good show while it lasted. Bye, everybody.
did you gentlemen have any thoughts? My only, I've offered.
Hashtag Jacob was right.
No, I think I actually got a troll Twitter account that I made for a literal. I want to say it was like 45 minutes before it finally got banned because I added Pokimane and made fun of her. And yeah, no, fuck that cunt. She deserves everything horrible in her life to happen to her.
Well,
Uh,
I don't wish any kind of horrible accident upon her.
Nah.
Listen, it's not personal. It couldn't be. I don't know her. What it is you are as superficial gets. You make the Kardashians seem deep and nuanced.
Look,
You're just, there's nothing to you. And
You're
okay.
vapid as vapid can get.
Yeah, and it's like I'm no fan of Leafy. Fuck Leafy, but more than that,
Yeah.
fuck you, Pokimane. I just can't say, everywhere I go, I have to hear about this fucking person. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to say fuck you. Anyway.
Look, I don't know who Pokimane is. If she wants, I'll put it in her butt. But she seems cute.
What? Oh yeah. Saying fuck her is gonna get my channel taken down, as opposed to your anal reference.
What? At least mine was consenting. I said if she wants.
Yes, you did.
Look, I don't like Leafy. I don't really care about this, but should he have lost his channel? Probably not.
Well, they got those donut. I mean, over on Twitch, as I understand it from certain Twitch people, Chaos Eve among them, that they've got real strong terms of service when it comes to creators attacking, harassing, combating with one another. They just don't play that game over there. So it's,
well, they play it very one-sided because, like, oh, pretty girl, it's okay.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's so let's look at this article real quick. I haven't even read it, but I'm curious to find out. Literary assistant agent Sasha White fired by the Tobias Literary Agency for anti-trans sentiments. I would love to see what her anti-trans sentiments are. Shall we find out together? Let's do it.
Right.
I'm just really curious. Like, what did she say? Women exist? Is that what you did? Because I'm just wondering if it's like J.K. Rowling's like. Okay, so she supported it by retweeting someone else. And what did the someone else that she retweeted say? J.K. Rowling is right, and secretly, you know she is. That she's said nothing bigoted, and that sex is a biological fact and is real. Obviously, she's right about this, and pretty much everything else I can think of. So, yes, of course, I stand with women and, quote, and hashtag I stand with J.K. Rowling. And she retweeted that, and she's fired.
Wow, that's it.
That's it.
Oh, that was pretty tame. I've said way worse things.
Well, no, I expected it to be tame. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I expected it to be very, very minor. And it's like for having anti-trans sentiments, which came to the fore, like how is it that these sentiments were expressed in the form of a retweet of somebody, of a blue checkmarks tweet in support of J.K. Rowling.
And people get fired over the dumbest crap these days. 10 years ago, if you told me this, I'd have laughed in your face, but like, that's not going to happen. No, she's got a right to say whatever she wants on her own time. She shouldn't have her byline in there. That was dumb. Because I'm sure that's in her profile, but
right.
Allowed to have an opinion. Apparently not. What am I talking about?
I think J.K. Rowling is uncancelable because she is a billionaire that lives in a castle.
And she created Harry Potter, the greatest millennial books ever made. The only books, as far as I know.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, she's kind of uncancelable. So let's cancel everybody who supports her instead. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's my take out of this. When you have people removing Harry Potter tattoos, things that J.K. Rowling said, like biological sex is real. Well, I can't believe this fight has gone this far where people are getting fired over retweeting a supportive statement. That's nuts.
Well, we are talking about people that have Harry Potter tattoos.
True. True. All right, this one's for quiz. You will remain calm, sir.
Never to do so.
We are one step closer to the America Chavez movie you've wanted for so long, Quiz.
Woo! Yeah, woo!
Chris has actually been talking about this for a good while now. Alleged audition tape claims America Chavez will appear in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So
Nice.
so
Who's she played by?
yeah, who knows? An audition tape allegedly leaked from the casting sessions of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Hold on really quick. Thank you, Gamer Valine, for the donation. The vapid personalities calling themselves content creators. Hey! Oh, you weren't talking about me. Well, whatever. The vapid personalities calling themselves content creators are like budget Hollywood. This is why I'm stuck watching the political sector of YouTube/Twitch. It's the only content that isn't an endless loop of drama / look at my tits. Wow.
Not wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's an endless loop. It's funny. Thank you, Gamer Valine. I thought about going over on Twitch and putting content up over there, but then I remember.
Oh, I thought you were going to show your tits.
No, I wasn't. Did
you think that's part of the casting couch for America Chavez?
You notice what like of the split here that they've used? They put the reimagined picture of America Chavez's character design. Remember the one that everyone was complaining that there's too much butt in it? And it's like,
what? There were people that were complaining about too much butt in America Chavez?
Yeah, we talked about it on this show like 50 episodes ago, but we talked about it. It's this.
I don't remember that.
It's the top right hand corner of this picture right here that we were talking about, because I
often block out things too, Quiz. It's okay.
like any character model, as I'm sure you've seen, Quiz, with an animation background, right? You have to show the person from multiple sides,
every angles.
Because that's how character. So you know if you're on or off model, right? So one of the pictures is her from behind, as is normal, and you're showing her ass off. It's like, would you want her to have no ass? Literally? I mean, did you want her to be fat? What? I don't understand. A character model has to show the person from all angles. What?
She's a Latina. Of course, she got to have junk in the trunk.
Well, you guys really don't like me having a channel, do you? Jesus.
I'm sorry, I'm not the one that pointed out Pokemon. That was you. I don't know.
An appearance by Pokemon. An appearance by Chavez in the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been rumored for quite some time. Last year was rumored by a Disney Plus series based on the dimension-hopping heroine, dimension-shattering as she punches star-shaped holes in the fabric of reality.
Yes.
Super heroine in the early stages of development. In January 2020, a leaked casting call sought a, quote, teenage Hispanic female to play a supporting lead in the Doctor Strange sequel, which led to rampant speculation amongst very few people who seem to care that the film would feature Chavez's big screen butt debut. Her debut, if you will. Chavez's appearance has been seemingly moved from speculation to reality, as a new video appears to confirm that the dimension-hopping character will show up in because she hopped from the all-lesbian dimension. The dimension-hopping character will show up in the next phase of the Marvel films. In a recently leaked video, a 13-year-old actress named Lily Resto reads a scene wherein her character is interrogated by an unknown agency before explaining to them the concept of the multiverse. As the legitimacy of this video and the accompanying rumors surrounding it have yet to be confirmed, this rumor should be taken with a grain of salt. Well, okay, good. We'll stop reading right there then. But Quiz, we're one step closer to your dream.
I know. I can't wait.
All I know is I said alls. Shut up. If I was an actress trying to get a job, I would fake an audition to a show that doesn't exist about one of these obscure characters, and then have it as a leak tape on one of my friend's YouTube channels.
Yeah,
I sincerely hope that they have the Hitler punching scene from America Chavez #2. And when they do that, I want to hear, "Aw, hell nah," like Patty from Ghostbusters 2016, the proud, dignified woman of color.
Oh my God.
When she said, "Oh, hell nah, the devil is alive," I couldn't.
Quiz, some of us liked the MCU, all right? Just because they're ruining it now over the past couple of garbage movies, doesn't mean we should all go full nihilist.
Some men just want to watch the world burn, Jack.
Yeah, their name is Inquisitor 8.1.
Check this out. Batwoman, Javicia Leslie, landed the landmark role through a Zoom audition.
Yeah, when I saw that headline, I was like, "Oh God, we gotta talk about this." Fucking Zoom audition, really?
Yeah, I really don't have much to add to it. I'm completely unsurprised. It's because I mean they when Ruby Rose landed on the curb, the producers of Batwoman outright said we're going to be looking for somebody from the LGBT community to play this character, and it's like, okay, that much was obvious because only gay people can play gay people or write gay people or
Yeah, that's so weird.
yeah, you know, or apparently offer them service, food or concierge service on a train. Did you hear about the gay train in the UK?
Gay train?
Well,
What?
Pride train, actually. But oh, dude, it's the gaudiest fucking thing ever, man. It's like it's painted with the Pride flag colors, and it's got big, huge, like 10-foot tall letters down the side, Pride, and it's entirely staffed by LGBTQ community members and the train engineer and the guy shoveling the coal. And yeah, I know they don't have coal anymore, but I think it's funny for to picture some excessively flamboyantly gay man shoveling coal in
He's got
Break a
pictures.
nail.
Look,
Are
when I
only
heard,
gays allowed on the train?
That's a good question. Probably not, but
when I
Oh,
heard,
gays aren't allowed on the train?
when I heard there was going to be a gay train, I had a much different idea of what it was, a locomotive, and it was a lot more hilarious in my mind.
Gamer Valine's got a good point. And make it with your partner. You're hired. Yeah, see, this Zoom hiring session was just a cheap way of them running like online cam girl lesbian porn for the executive
Right?
staff.
Was it a Zoom audition or was it in My OnlyFans?
I mean, like I said, they already came right out and said we're going to hire somebody from the LGBTQ community. And you goddamn well, everybody up and down the block, did anyone doubt that it was going to be a POC and specifically somebody who's black because hashtag Black Lives Matter? Because that's the thing right now, because they're all committed to diversity and inclusion. Like, I mean, everyone knew it. They were going to hire a gay black woman, Tessa Thompson, we're calling. By the way, did you know Tessa Thompson's gotten in all kinds of hot water by all the right, sane, lucidly minded people for supporting that cutie show on Netflix?
I did not hear that.
Wow.
Quiz lets out the little malevolent laugh.
I want to see it all burn to the ground.
Yeah,
It's happening, Joker. Don't worry.
yeah. I mean, we're not gonna be the millionth fucking show on YouTube talking about how bad that cutie show is, and I'm sure a lot of you already are aware of it. If you're not, it's disgusting. And
fucking critical fucking talked about it.
who?
Critical.
Okay, repeat.
Penguins Zero.
Repeating the word didn't help, man. I just
Yeah.
He's multi. I'm surprised you. Well, the Deadwing Dork talks about him all the time. He's a multi-million subscriber YouTuber.
I'm not saying I'm the only one who knows the quality content. There's all sorts of good stuff out there that I just haven't heard of yet. So
I ain't got time to watch all that shit. Look, this chick is pretty, but it's not a Batwoman show. They should have just shut the show down, relaunch it with a different title, create a new superhero for her, maybe inspired by Batwoman, something like that. You could even probably bribe Ruby Rose to do an episode where she kind of gives like her tacit endorsement of her and say, okay, well, you could be a guardian of Gotham too, whatever.
mm-hmm.
That's just, I don't think is going to work. It's another unknown getting handed a mantle instead of earning it. And I don't think fans are going to go for it. You'll have a very small number of the diehard LGBT crowd that will consume anything with LGBT, but it's not going to be a good quality show. Batwoman was struggling in season 1. I don't see this really changing anything enough to get beyond 2 or 3 episodes before it gets kind of ridiculed and mocked into nothingness.
I hear you. I think it's going to be ridiculed and mocked and not watched, but I think it's going to last a full season because none of them have the fucking stones to cancel it when the ratings are particularly low. They're going to ride it out and for one season at least, and if it's dramatically unsuccessful, they'll cancel it during the season break and blame production issues or COVID-19 or Donald Trump or something. Like,
yeah, it'll probably go 12 to 20 episodes. It'll get quietly moved to like what is it, HBO Max or whatever they own now. So, and it'll be forgotten there and left to linger as like some sad option on your menu screen. And so they'll air the first couple, it'll fail, and then they'll move it over there and be like, oh, it's an exclusive.
See, I mean, and here's a critical thing where, this comes up again and again. You have Rough City Podcast saying it's an appropriation of the icons. Yeah, it always is. Critical nodes and infrastructure, as your boy Zach would say. So Batwoman is gay canonically. Everyone's like, well, she's canon. And remember, as we've talked about so many times before, canon matters when it helps them, and when it doesn't, what the fuck, you fanboys, you alt-writers with your canon. And it's like, you know what? Okay, canonically, she's white. Oh, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That's different. What are you, whitewashing? No, the character always was white. Oh, well, when a character is of color, and I love this argument because it's so hypocritical and obvious and transparent and lame. When a character of a person of color is a given character, it's an integral part of the character's identity that they are that. Whereas if you take somebody like Peter Parker or Cassandra Cain or whoever it is, and they're white, it's not a critical part of their character that they're white. It's just by happenstance because a whole bunch of bigoted racists were the ones who created the characters and made everybody white. So you can, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, he's the everyman. He could be Chinese, he could be Asian, he could be a trans boy. It doesn't make any fucking difference whatsoever. Now, if a character's black and you make them anything else, you're whitewashing. And it's you guys realize just how incredibly transparent and obvious that is. I mean, I agree with Jack. Yeah, the actress they picked is hot as hell. Very, very pretty woman. Okay, yeah. And what's that? I just, so what? There's lots of pretty women everywhere. Swing a dead cat in Los Angeles, and you hit a pretty waitress that wants to be an actress. I mean, yeah, and one that's willing to. No, I won't say that.
Butt stuff?
I didn't.
I was expecting Jack to say that.
Well, no, I just to use your imaginations of what they're willing to do. But you said about HBO Max. Let's bring it over here. Zack Snyder debuts Justice League Snyder Cut trailer, reveals his 4-part release plan. This actually kind of surprised me that he was going to. Yeah, I mean, this the whole reason I bring the story up is just to talk about the trailer generally, but also the plan that it will be released on HBO Max in 2021 in 4 one-hour segments, and then following that, an option to watch it as an unbroken 4-hour movie. Gentlemen, you both watched the trailer, and you just heard about the notion, or have already known about the notion of 4 parts and so forth. Thoughts?
Did I watch it?
Yes, you did. It was the one I said you didn't get to have an opinion unless you watched it.
Oh. Okay, here's the thing, right? Darkseid looks ridiculous.
You think so?
He doesn't look very. I've not seen the original Justice League, but from what I glean from the trailer and everything, it reminds me a lot of Justice League War, which was the animated one where Supergirl first makes her first appearance, and it's the big battle between Apocalypse and Earth, and there's like a whole lot of stuff that's happening on Earth, but then they go and take the fight to Apocalypse. I sincerely hope that if they do that, if they follow that formula, the movie will be better. But the one thing that I remember most getting tossed around as criticism when Man of Steel came out was everyone was always appalled at the level of collateral damage that they were talking about with in terms of what Superman was doing, and that's acting out of character for Superman, because Superman would not want to see innocent people hurt, even in his battles, if he can avoid it, which of course, being Superman, he can. So
what? Where are you going with this?
I sincerely hope that they do more shit with Apocalypse. I don't want to see all of this shit on Earth.
Well, it looked like parts of it were on Apocalypse. But I think what they're going to do is start off with the apocalyptic wasteland. And it looked like Barry was running through the Speed Force at one point in the trailer. And he goes back in time to warn the others that we saw in Batman v Superman. And then we pick up in the modern day with Batman getting that warning again. And then they have to go get Superman resurrected and whatnot. Because we did see hints of him wearing the Return of Superman black outfit.
Yeah.
We saw him wearing that with the black cape. So, and we also saw Supergirl's leg in there, because that was obviously a woman's leg in this clip. So the rumor always was that Supergirl was supposed to be part of how Superman got resurrected. And there's always also mentioned that the movie was supposed to have Martian Manhunter. That's that scene where um, Alfred was working on the car and looked back at somebody and said, "Oh, he said you'd be here," or "He said you would come," something like that. And supposedly that was Martian Manhunter he was talking to.
Oh, cool.
So if they do that, it could be really good. Yeah, the CG looks rough still. It does look just like Justice League movie though. I don't think Darkseid looked that bad. I think it was just a weird take on him. I don't necessarily like it, but I've seen worse. And I think they're going to have a very limited budget with this. So I'll be happy to see what the original vision was because maybe the movie will make more sense. But I don't know. I'm going to give it a shot. I'll check it out. I didn't think it looked that bad.
I didn't think it looked bad. I think the trailer is like, it's Zack Snyder, in my opinion, looking at like, oh, so you guys want me now after all the complaints about my style being, too grim dark and my use of music and the way that I've, a la Watchmen and so forth. Oh, you guys like that now? Okay, well, I'm going to go full retard. So it's got Leonard Cohen's version of Hallelujah playing over top
God,
of
it
the
was
whole
so bad.
playing over
That
the
was a
whole thing. And it was a weird choice, but it's a very Zack Snyderin choice to do something like that.
Yeah.
Right along the lines of Watchmen, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was robbed of my Ben Affleck directed and starring Batman movie. This is probably as close as I'm going to get. So I'm definitely going to check it out. I didn't think it looked that bad. I saw an early rendering of Darkseid. That's what I picked up from there. It didn't look complete.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah,
it is a teaser.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're going to work on it some more. I'll give it a shot. I don't think the song was appropriate for the trailer, and I don't like the dark vision of everything, but it's probably going to be an okay movie, like a C or something, but I'll check it out. Why not? I like superhero stuff, and a lot of the stuff we've been getting lately is so filled with politics and nonsense. Maybe it'll be an okay film. I don't know. Justice League was too patchwork because of two different competing visions for the movie. It could have been a good kids movie if they'd taken the swearing out and a couple of the scenes. But beyond that, I didn't really get much out of it. I thought it was just like a highbrow PG-13 movie that I didn't care about. So I just thought it was okay. And I think that's what this is going to be when it's Zack Snyder's version. It'll be like, well, there's a dark version of superheroes. It was okay.
Really quick. Wasn't Catwoman black when Adam West was Batman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there was Eartha Kitt.
Yeah.
But
Hold
there was
on.
someone else before.
Oh yeah.
There was someone else before.
Forgot that detail. Eartha Kitt was Catwoman before Martin Luther King was.
Martin Luther King?
Well,
What?
MLK.
What?
Okay, so Gamer Valine. Okay, I'm just gonna read it. Okay, I don't know. Okay, Gamer Valine, thank you for the donation, by the way. And she says, "Wasn't Catwoman black when Adam West was Batman?" Question mark. Oh yeah, forgot that detail that Eartha Kitt was Catwoman before MLK was an appropriate martyr. She was on the show 1966 and 1968. Martin Luther King was murdered in 1968.
Yeah.
They can stop with whitewashing claims.
Yeah, before Martin Luther King was assassinated, Eartha Kitt played Catwoman.
Yeah.
The claim is that they've been like Catwoman's been portrayed as a white person and a black person. Nobody fought. The people that care are a bunch of race hustlers and crybabies.
Yeah, I get the point. Did people actually make an issue out of that?
Oh yeah, they always do.
What about Eartha Kitt being Catwoman?
Well, there are people that have only seen the Batman 66 show. I've run into these people in real life, so I know they exist. They think that the modern iteration of Catwoman being white is whitewashing the character because they only ever knew Catwoman from the TV show as Eartha Kitt. And they didn't know that she was white in the comics before that.
Oh.
So I've heard that argument. I don't know if that's exactly what she's getting at, but I have heard people say that.
That's so strange because that's totally not reflective of reality. Well,
we're talking about these people again.
Well,
the locust.
well, it's not only just the locust; it's people that are willfully ignorant of the source material. It's not
Yeah,
that hard to figure out that Catwoman was, Selena Kyle, a white woman and a slightly darker skinned woman.
yeah, they've made her sort of Asian looking and Latina at one point for some
Hmm.
reason. So I don't know that people tinker with this crap all the time. Shit, Holly Berry was Catwoman, although not Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
So there's that too. And Assassin's right, there were 3 people that played Catwoman in Adam West's Batman.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that was just a celebrity love fest, like Laughing was.
Wasn't Julie
So
Newmar one of them too?
Julie
yeah,
Newmar, yeah.
so
Crazy.
yeah, I mean, I don't care that Catwoman's black. Who cares? As long as the story's good. Just that the problem is that they do a lot of this stuff for show instead of making the characters interesting. Commissioner Gordon's going to be black in the movie too. I don't fucking care. That guy's a good actor. He'll do fine as Gordon.
Who?
It's only a problem when they're doing it just for the sake of doing it.
Hmm.
I. Whatever.
Right here, let me find it. I think
I.
I think Julie Newmar was first Catwoman.
You know. We get caught up in the argument, and we have to remember it and not get distracted from the point. The point is to complain about a series of subjects, which are race, gender, income, social standing, so forth. Right? I mean, these are the things to complain about, and the phrase "nothing will ever be enough." No, of course it won't, because the point is to complain. That is the goal. To stand on the top of a moral mountain and point your fucking moralizing finger at everything you can within this given range of subjects. So even if you make Catwoman a given thing, well, that's LBGT erasure because she's like this sexy Catwoman. She's always been sexy. That's part of her thing, and that's exactly what's wrong with it because it's sexualizing women and making women an object. It doesn't matter what literally, no matter what is done, it will be complaint ridden. Because this, like Jack, you mentioned the only people who complain are race hustlers, grievance hustlers in general. Yeah, absolutely. It's honestly what they're paid for or how they feel edified in life by going on social media. Oh, I got 13 likes. Yay, my life has meaning. Now let me go pet my cats.
Look, they're never going to be happy. You can't appease them. Nothing is ever good enough. So stop trying, Hollywood. Let it go. Just make product that people want to watch. I don't care if you like it or not. Fucking make stuff we like. Then we'll stop complaining.
Well, here's a rumor story, and I'm always like cautious about these rumor stories, but oh well, whatever the fuck. We're a bunch of gossips. Who cares?
Sure.
New rumor claims that the top priority at Disney is to remove SJW employees. Oh, wouldn't that be nice if that were true? Let's find out.
That'd be nice.
Dare to dream. Skip the first sentence as we always do. The rumor comes.
Dude, Disney, hire me. Let me do it. I will do it for half the price you're paying these other people.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd do a better job.
Yeah, I've promised not to masturbate while telling them they're fired, too.
The rumor comes from YouTuber Overlord Doomcock, who prefaces the information by saying, I've heard the following information once again from a high-level source, and the persistence of this information leads me to believe that there may be something to this story, so I'm presenting it now. Yeah, it's please note, however, I cannot independently verify what I'm about to tell you. Noted. According to the source, who has been reliable in the past, the shit is about to hit the fan at Disney. I'm being told that getting the SJWs out of Disney is priority one, mandated by a sudden realization that the cliches are cliches for a reason, and a new understanding at the highest level that go woke, get broke, whatever, is no longer just a slogan. He then adds, yes, you heard me right. As incredible as it sounds, my source boldly claims that Disney is not only concerned with only one thing: profitability. Kind of.
Well, they have to be at this point.
You call that a corporation? The proclamation is about to be sent out from on high to every corner of the Enchanted Kingdom. Disney is a for-profit business moving forward, and from here on out, the customer comes first. The woke part is over because the mouse has awakened with a terrible hangover, and it's a new day at Disney. Doomcock then details that Disney employees and anyone on their payroll will begin treating their fans with respect. He states, "My source tells me that a huge policy change is about to be made at Disney. Bad-mouthing fans, no matter what they say or what side they're on, will no longer be tolerated. That goes for everyone who works at Disney, including Brie Larson." Jesus Christ. "Including the Lucasfilm Story Group and everyone that Kathleen Kennedy ever hired." Like, I mean, Brie Larson is like, I don't know, the movie wasn't made for white dudes. And she always says white dudes with this intensity of disgust. And it's like, oh, just, let me interview her. I know I keep saying that, but like, let me interview her. And it's like white dudes. And it's like, come on, why does a white chick have so many problems? How dare you cock me that? Okay, you want to call me a man and I'll call you a woman. We'll get on the same level. You want equality, right? Now, anyway, moving on to something substantive, you fucking vapid bitch. Probably shouldn't call her a bitch if I want to do the equality thing. But yeah, this would be nice. We'll see what happens. I doubt this is true because just, cynicism, am I right?
Well, Doomcock's been right on a lot of stuff. Maybe he'll be right on this because Disney's in really bad financial trouble. They have a lot of loans coming due. Their parks are still closed down for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
They're bleeding money. They can't afford to make any more fuck-ups. There's a good chance this is true. I would like to think it's true. I don't necessarily do, but I think they will do some house cleaning.
Well, if this is true, right, big if, it leads to a nice segue to the next story, which is Disney and Lucasfilm Industrial Light and Magic participates in Diversity and Inclusion Summit. Oh my. As first reported by Star Wars is Dumb, Disney Star Wars is Dumb, Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, which is helmed by Lewin Branwen, and the visual effects studio part of Lucasfilm, confirmed their participation in the summit, sharing their 2-day schedule on Instagram. Oh my god. We won't be able to see it because it's like Instagram, and I've got that blocked for good reason because they track everything you do and everywhere you go and everyone you talk to and what your blood type is. Because they're owned by Facebook, and that's how they roll. We're excited to participate in this critical summit, which is free to all who would like to attend. Then who paid for it? Who funded it? I'd be fascinated to know. As you can see in the post, the summit features a number of topics throughout the day, including segments like unconscious bias and inclusion, exploring empathy and creativity to tell inclusive stories, and inclusion at Industrial Light and Magic.
Unconscious bias needs to go the fuck away. It's based on pseudoscience. Everything about it.
Yeah, that's worse than phrenology. And I mock phrenology a lot, but unconscious bias is fucking crap. It's been proven to be crap time and time again. And it's just going to make people biased because you're like, oh, you're inherently a bad person. Don't do that shit. No. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Jon Favreau gave me a little bit of hope when he was saying how we need to respect the fans and stuff like that. But stuff like this kind of counteracts that a little bit.
So, I mean, they actually do reference the thing right there, Doomcock's claim that the shit's going to hit the fan when it comes to SJWs and Disney. Like, okay, well, there you go. We'll see.
Well, I hope he's right.
Not before I get my America Chavez movie.
You be quiet, nihilist.
they need to hit rock bottom, god damn it.
Ebony Williams brought up a good point. We did not talk about the new Batman trailer.
Yeah, I forgot to bring up a image or whatever for it. So you guys have both seen it, right?
Of course. Yes. Yeah.
And?
Great.
You liked it?
I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, I thought his costume looked a little padded, but this is really early in the development of the movie. They had to suspend production because of COVID. So yeah, I think it has a lot of potential.
Yeah, so do I. And I'm just going to toot my own horn here for a minute. And if we go back several months, I was one of the people that went against the grain and said I could see Robert Pattinson playing an okay Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, he looks a little emo, but style of the times, Yeah. A little not my thing, but I get it. And he's supposed to be a younger Bruce Wayne. So yeah, I thought it looked okay.
Yeah. What's interesting is that they're running parallel universes. Where this Batman version is not going to be like DCEU separate from it. And you have people online that are like confused about that. And it's like, okay, let me explain to you how badly in money AT&T is. They need money. And the studio needs money writ large. And so if they have an IP for the movie, they're going to run parallel series. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's supposedly 5 Batman movies in development.
Yeah, I can absolutely
And
see it. Like, why the fuck not?
the fact they announced that Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck are going to be in the Flash movie, both as Batman.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
I hate Ezra Miller. I think he's a garbage actor, but I will see it for those guys.
Yep. I was really happy to hear that they were like, can you imagine how sick a fucking Ben Affleck Batman movie would have been as soon as Zack Snyder was no longer involved? I mean, go watch like Live by Night or The Town or Argo. Ben Affleck.
Phantoms.
What's that?
Phantoms. Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
What? Did he direct it?
No, he was in it.
What's Phantoms? I don't even know about that. What is that?
Never seen Phantoms?
No.
Jesus Christ. It was a horror movie in the early 90s. And he
guys,
plays like a little cop, and there's like an alien in there. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. Ebony Williams, thank you very much for the $10. And she, hold on for a second. And she says, you get monies. Well, thank you. I am happy to receive your monies. And happy to have you here, Ebony.
Yeah, we're always glad to see you.
Okay, yeah, I was talking about Ben Affleck as a director, though. Just he's really competent. He directed 3 movies that I named, and really competently, and won an Academy Award for one of them. For fuck's sake, like I want to see him and he loves the character of Batman. I watched multiple interviews where he's talking with it. It's like, you're an actual nerd. I can tell. Those are not lines that your PR agent handed you, if you know what I mean. A legit fan of the characters. And then all the fuckery happened in confusion, and they ended up paying him out of his contract that he had signed. Weird.
Yeah,
That's how much turmoil there was going on behind the scenes. Crazy. So yeah, I'm to answer the question that Ebony talked about. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It looked great. If you haven't seen the new Batman trailer, you should go check it out. I don't. It's not the most exciting trailer I've ever seen, but I see a fuck ton of potential.
yeah, yeah.
I could see them using I think the red herring is at the very end they show the date and the 2s are question marks. So
Yeah.
I think that the fake out is going to be that Riddler is going to be the main villain because they set it up in the trailer. But I think that the actual villain is going to be the Court of Owls.
It might be. It might be.
Yeah, because they showed something that looked suspiciously like the Talon. Yeah, I think it's going to be the Court of Owls, and that's going to be awesome.
Ebony Williams is a friggin' delight.
Yes.
And pretty goddamn charming, since we're going. Well,
speaking of which, thank you Ebony, for the donation, and you get monies. Well, thank you. That's very generous of you.
I wanted to talk about this story that I talk about with some pretty big trepidation on it.
About how awesome I am.
No. That would be with exposure of blatant lies. Report: Sony moves forward with Kraven the Hunter film and finds director. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Sony.
Right? Like, this is okay. Deadline reports that is in talks with director J.C. Chandler to helm the film. Chandler's biggest claim to fame is the Netflix Triple Frontier, starring Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, and some other people. He also directed A Most Violent Year, starring some other people, along with reporting that Chandler will more than likely direct the film. They confirmed that the film will be produced by LeafyIsHere. Yeah, I guess he's just in there as executive producer, kind of like, because the way Stan Lee is always, or used to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This report comes following a rumor from Charles Murphy at Murphy's Multiverse that Marvel Studios was eyeing Joel Kinnaman, a Joel Kinnaman type, to play opposite Spider-Man in the 3rd Spider-Man role. While Murphy didn't confirm, he wrote, given all 3 rumors and speculation, what Spidey 3 will likely be about, and the villains we're likely to see, it's incredibly easy to make yourself believe that the studio wants this to be a Kinnaman type for a major role, etc. However, he does caution, as exciting as this is, there are too many questions around it to take as fact. Is the role actually Kraven? It's unknown, but you will start piecing things together. It sure seems like, okay. Sony had previously been developing a Kraven the Hunter film with screenwriter Richard Wenk, penning the script in 2018. Discussing the film, he said, we would adhere very closely to the lore of Kraven the Hunter. going to come face to face with Spider-Man, etc. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to make use of his script and not give him any credit because that's the way these things work. Scripts going through development hell. Okay.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Ebony Williams. And Quiz gets monies. Thank you.
Yay! Money for everyone. Oh, god damn it!
We love you.
It's time to
Ebony
end.
Williams.
It's time to end the stream. Quick, Far showed up.
Oh no.
Look, let's talk about. Let's talk about this. All right, this I pitched this story arc before. I'm far from the first person to recognize how awesome Kraven's Last Hunt is. It is one of the best Spider-Man storylines of all time.
Yeah.
It's deep. It's grim dark. Which Spider-Man? Really? Grim dark Spider-Man? Yes.
Barry's Spider-Man alive. Yeah.
Yeah. Spoilers, but
you pitched it.
I know. This is part one from Web of Spider-Man, which was my favorite Spider-Man series to piece together and get a full run of way back in the day. I remember I was got it, need it. Got it, need it. You know that thing? Oh yeah, man. I did it with Web of Spider-Man. I still have the full run of it. It was a great series. It was awesome. And it part one, and they alternated between Web of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, 2 issues in each for the 6-part story arc. The reason I bring it up is because, okay, this is going to be transferred to film. Like I opened the comic to kind of like look at some of the imagery in this comic. I'm not saying it can't be transferred to film. I'm saying imagine Disney or somebody, a major studio, trying to transfer this to film. Kraven is like at the end of his perceived life, like his usefulness in life. Fighting robots he's created to battle them in the nude. There's images of graveyards, and he's walking around his empty mansion by himself, repeating strange, dark poetry. And he's come to view Spider-Man as his ultimate arch enemy that he was never able to defeat, and wants to defeat him in the biggest way possible. He's got a Spider-Man costume in a coffin. It's all very dark, weird imagery. It's raining through all 6 issues of this comic. You know what I mean? Because it's so grim dark. People are being murdered. Spider-Man is just operating as normal, and you kind of see the imagery. Here's a nightmare that Kraven has, where he's covered by spiders, and tonight will be the night where he just starts eating them mouthful by mouthful. And it's nuts. This story arc is nuts. It's really dark shit. It's really well written. It's crazy. It was experimental, and it so works. Can you imagine this on film?
It could be a good movie, but I don't think they've got enough setup for it because they don't have Mary Jane in the films yet.
Amen.
He's still too young at this point in his career.
Yeah.
I don't think they can pull it off unless they're going to make an outside of the main universe version of it where it can be dark and gritty, and they already have Mary Jane established in the story. I don't think it's going to happen. It won't be good if they do it now, not with this little 12-year-old kid running around as Spider-Man with his little fat Samoan Ned Leeds. I don't think the Disney-fied version of that Spider-Man would work. I don't think that kid's that good of an actor for that.
And like, no kidding, for him to be like Kraven to be the ultimate hunter and to trick Spider-Man into a certain point because he knows his tactics and has known for long enough to hit him with a tranquilizing dart and then hunt him and catch him in a net and blow him the fuck away. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, seriously? And like this, it's so dark. Yesterday, Ned Leeds. Today, Joe Face. Tomorrow, on May, Mary Jane. Bam! Like, oh my god! And then just like cut to black panel and the continuing grave digger that you've seen in the bottom panel through the whole comic, and the grave is for him. And this all happens. Wow, this happens in the first issue.
Yeah. They'd have to do this as a rated R movie for it to be as effective as the comics.
Right.
Tom Holland doesn't look the part for something that like this gritty. I don't think he's too baby faced. They need somebody that looks like they're a few years older, that's in college age, that would be married and settled down a little bit, and a more experienced Spider-Man. and that nobody has any idea who the fuck Kraven the Hunter is unless they
Mhm.
were a Spider-Man fan like the 80s or 90s. It's not going to be as effective. So if they're going to do a Kraven story, it would have to be an origin story where he's like doing something else, hunting big game, and then he goes after like a human being and then lead into a Spider-Man film.
Yeah, well, you know what? We've all seen enough origin stories, and I hear you. Like, no setup. A really good writer would be able to just show Kraven walking around his mansion saying, "I've hunted everything. There's one thing I haven't hunted successfully," or whatever. And he's standing there staring out his giant 40-foot tall window. Flashback to battling Spider-Man. It's already happened. An effective writer and a good director and editor would be able to put that together, establish a backstory that's already happened. Yeah, he's already gone up against this guy, et cetera, et cetera. And now he's reached this dark point in his career where he's kind of gone fucking crazy. And remember what happens to Kraven at the end of this story. Are they really going to do that? I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but like, Jesus Christ, like, you're going to do that in a movie? Rated R, maybe you would, but I mean, fuck. And you're right. Like, the point in this story, a big part is Mary Jane, that they're married. And Kraven goes after Mary Jane specifically because he knows who Spider-Man. He knows Spider-Man's real identity. He's not interested in exposing him. He's interested in fully, completely defeating him to be the ultimate hunter.
Yeah, without giving away the ending, how are they going to do that in a PG-13 movie?
Amen. I mean, little dark. Yeah, I mean, it is a fantastic epic storyline, but man, for a live action film,
they're gonna fuck it. It would have to be. I think it'd be better as like a 2-part story where they do 2 hours each part, or a 4-part or a 4-hour epic. Then they could probably jam it all in there. But I just don't think Sony's willing to do something like that. That's just my take, though.
Oh, Rough City Podcast asked McFarlane art, right? No, Mike Zack drew that. Not the entire series, but I don't believe he drew the entire series. But the 2 Web of Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Mans were done by Mike Zack.
It's all done by Mike Zack.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said so in the chat as well.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Okay.
Well, I'm also running a stream here. Let's see.
Oh God.
Do you want to do it? I haven't shown it. I don't.
Not really.
Fucking quiz.
That just the fucking headline of that one is really fucking dumb.
Oh, wait till you read the article.
Well, all right. The chat doesn't even know what we're talking about. Let's show them. How Hollywood's Alien and Predator movies reinforce anti-black racism.
Buckle in, kids. This is a wild one.
It's so stupid.
Have you guys read this at all yet?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you haven't heard about this quiz? Oh, it made the rounds,
No.
man. Yeah, we're Johnny come latelys on this one, man. People have been talking about this garbage. It just Richo said missed the whole show, didn't I? Not the entire show.
No, you made it just in time for this one.
Yeah. God, far than Richo, all the Aussies piling in late at the same. Just kidding. We love you guys.
First thing in the morning.
It's 1:30 p.m. at least in Western Australia. Let's see. All right, gentlemen, come on. Let's move on to good stuff. Let's talk about let's pitch some comics, shall we? And I actually got to wrap this motherfucker up pretty fucking quick. So let's do fast pitches like I know we can.
Sure.
Alrighty.
Who's ready to go?
I am.
Oh, cool.
All right, let me put you right there. Stop sharing my screen and bigonate the screen. Captcha.
Okay, so my pitch is written by Carl Kessel, pencils by Craig Huseri?
Oh.
Rousseau, Chris Rousseau, and inks by Dan Davis. My pitch is here, green. Harley Quinn number 24. This one is part of the Kessel series. That's volume 1. This is immediately after Harley Quinn has been kicked out of hell and she's living in her spirit is dwelling around Denver, and the Martian Manhunter here, as you can see Harley, even though she is a ghost and she is possessing people. And you can see right there, he forces it out of his partner at the time because Martian Manhunter is his alternate alias is a detective, and I think he's a private detective too, isn't he? But either way, Harley is going around possessing random women all around Denver and fucking with the Martian Manhunter. That is her whole consuming purpose as a ghost, and it is really really funny. It's Harley at her quintessential comedic value, and it plays into the fact that the Martian Manhunter is powerless to kind of stop her disembodied spirit from just messing with him, which ultimately leads to Batman and Zatanna creating a brand new body and forcing her spirit into it. But this is the start of it. I absolutely love these series. It's really really funny. It's exactly how Harley Quinn should be written. Harley Quinn number 24.
Nice. Crazy. Damn skunk is back. Smelling.
God damn.
Well, or someone blazed up again. Jack, would you like to go or shall I?
I don't care. What do you want to do?
You should go because I've got the screen set up already.
Okay. All right. My pitch is Transformers 84, issue 1. Issue 3, I think, is coming out next week. So good time to jump on. I haven't read issue 2 yet. It's in my stack. I'm really far behind. Written by Simon Furman, art by Guido Gudi? I don't know. Colorist John Paul Bove. Now I have to give the colorists some credit here because they did the old style art. This is an homage to the 84 series from Marvel.
Mhm.
And they actually used the dots.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Sweet.
as the coloring method. So it's got that look to it the entire time. And this is the story of the arc.
The newsprint dots.
Yeah, the old style of printing. But it follows the old series, but from 1984, I think it was Marvel Comics series. But this takes place before the arc left Cybertron.
Okay.
Now it focuses on this guy. This is Counterpunch, who is in disguise. He also is Punch from the Autobots. So he's a double agent, and he's undercover. So this city gets blown up on Cybertron because it looks like Shockwave may have test fired an engine and something went wrong because Megatron wants to use the planet as a war world to go around harvesting other planets' resources and just use it as one giant vehicle. But things have gone wrong, and Megatron is obsessed with stopping the Autobots from launching the Ark. He doesn't want them getting off the planet, but he wants them all on the Ark. So he's going to launch another ship that goes out, and once they launch the Ark, he's going to shoot it down. And Shockwave thinks that's a giant waste of time. So we get Counterpunch's perspective on this because he's got his own machinations that have to go on in order to report information back, right? Well, the Dinobots end up having to go out and investigate the explosion with this guy whose name I think is Devastator. I'm not real familiar with some of these characters.
The guy on the bottom?
Yeah.
That's Perceptor.
Perceptor?
Yep.
Okay. He's a microscope?
Yep.
Okay. I knew that much. But things go horribly wrong. Some Decepticons intercept them. Shockwave shows up. It's a whole intrigue thing, but it has that same feel to the original 84 Marvel series, which is primarily what I know of the Transformers. I didn't get to see the cartoon a lot. It was on the same time as He-Man, but on a different station. I was more of a Masters of the Universe fan at the time. So it's got a great art style to it. Everybody looks really cool. They sound like their characters. Of course, Starscream is like, Megatron's at fault for everything. And Counterpunch is narrating all of this because he was playing both sides. So you get to see both sides of what's happening. And it's a lot of fun. There's a great cliffhanger on it. It's not really a cliffhanger, but if you're a Transformers fan, it's a little bit of a cliffhanger. This scene doesn't actually happen, but it's a cool cover and it gives you kind of an idea of the art.
Yeah, I do like the cover there. It's Starscream killing Megatron.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's happening in his head.
Oh, absolutely. I had a great time reading this. It was a great throwback to the 80s when comics were fun. So IDW has done some great stuff with the Transformers property, and they have a Transformers crossover coming up with Back to the Future and My Little Pony, which I think the first issue of that's out. It's
Whoa,
probably
whoa,
in my
whoa, whoa. Hold on. Transformers My Little Pony crossover?
Yeah.
What?
Both owned by Hasbro. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The ownership explanation, fine, but what the fuck is going to happen in that comment?
I don't know. This is it. They're doing they're already in the middle of the Transformers Terminator crossover. They've done Transformers GI Joe. They're doing. They've already done the Ghostbusters. They're crossing over all these awesome properties. I'm waiting for a $6 Million Man Transformers crossover. Could be awesome. But since they license all the Hasbro stuff as a bundle, IDW's got all these properties. They might as well make the most of it. And I'm intrigued enough to actually go buy the stupid My Little Pony one because it's mind blowing. What are you gonna do with that?
I'm not going to deny. I'm curious as to what the hell are they going to do with that.
It's genius. There are some good people at IDW, and they've been producing some of my currently favorite books: Usagi Yojimbo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They've got so many good properties. I couldn't turn this one down because I loved the 84 comic series from Marvel, and it really did capture the feel. That they did a great job. The art looks good, the writing's good. Simon Furman's a good writer. So all around, I really liked this. It's only, I think, a 4-part miniseries, but they're talking about making it a regular thing if it does well. So if you're interested, go pick it up. It was worth $4 to me.
Yeah. BG says, I can't wait for my Little Pony Terminator crossover. Yeah. I want to see a Terminator in like the land of friendship, just blowing ponies away. That'd be hilarious.
Right. Unfortunately, Terminator is over at Dark Horse. Okay. And that's why the series got delayed, because Dark Horse is having all kinds of financial problems right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I would totally buy it.
Is Transformers 84 a ongoing series, or is that a one shot?
There was a one shot before this. This is you'll find it under Secret and Lies, but that's not what the indicia says. So I go by that usually when I'm looking at the title. But yeah, Transformers 84, it's supposed to be a 4-part miniseries for Secrets and Lies, but if it does well, it'll be a regular thing.
Okay, here is my pitch. Punisher, Return to Big Nothing. And again, Mike Zeck comes up. This is a graphic novel, but really it's a collection of 3 different stories. It is so worth reading. As I understand it, it was originally sold as a hardcover. I have it as a scanned copy. I think there was a floppy trade produced of it, but it's also available for digital purchase. So interested, and you should be, because oh my god, it's fucking so good. Like look at that. Look at the first page. I mean, I'm a man who loves his heavy inks, and that's just, that's just fucking epic. It sets the tone for the entire story. It is a lot more violence and usually it's a lot more grittier than your usual Punisher comics, which were pretty gritty in the late 80s when this came out. Anyway, this story has the first story has him going up against a former Vietnam lieutenant that he knew back in the day, and it brings him back to his days in Vietnam, because at the time that made sense with the timing and everything in the year. And it is Punisher being hardcore like you would expect him to be. It's Jesus Christ, he's shooting that guy right through the throat. It's a lot of Punisher being the detective. Who are these guys? What are they doing? But he's like hyper violent detective blowing their way through them, T-600 style. Here's the flashbacks to Nam, where he comes up against this guy and meets him again, but instead of being on his side, they are now coming up against each other and are now enemies. And so these flashback scenes between what he learned from him back in the day, and now it's sort of like, now I am the master kind of thing, where it's like Frank Castle has gone on to be the Punisher, and this guy has become, well, not a very nice man. That's the first story. The second story is the Japanese Assassins Guild. I'm just like flipping through it because it is a very long book, all things considered, with no ads. It's 66 pages long. Look at it. Oh, I'm just going to stab this guy in the stomach and then flip him through the air with my knife. Like, just, oh my God. Yeah, Punisher going up against an entire Assassin's Guild and trying to find out how they've wormed their way into the various criminal enterprises that they're involved in. So again, a lot of detective work for Frank Castle, a lot of him soul searching whether or not he's doing the right thing, and a lot of flashbacks to his history. Overall, just great Punisher material. Exactly what you would expect from late 80s Punisher. It's if you love some classic grit, here it is all the way. Punisher, Return to Big Nothing. Highly recommend it. I read it recently. Just a gang of fun.
On Amazon, you can find used copies of the trade paperback as low as $3.50.
Sweet. There you go.
Worth it.
So there it is. Another episode number 96, closing in on that big triple digit. And I would like to thank everybody who showed up. If you're listening in the future, please, by all means, leave comments and likes. Don't forget to hit that like button below. I get a chance to read them all and respond to most. And Jack and Quiz even sometimes remember to come by and respond to the comments that are directly directed to them. Let me see. Oh, thank you to Evolved Potato for posting our links during the entire stream. That is greatly appreciated, which leads me to thanking everybody who so generously donated during the stream. Greatly appreciated. It helps keep the show running. And what do we do with that money? Well, we go buy comics. That's if there's any left over after buying ramen.
Right?
That's our life. That's the level we live on. Come on, we're nerds. It's how it goes. Gentlemen, any final thoughts?
Thank you for the donations. You guys are awesome, and buy some comic books.
I would say keep a weathered eye on my channel. I actually do have some pretty big plans. I'm trying to get friends together to start in doing some battle reports for Warhammer 40K.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah.
Cool. All right, so there it is. Thank you for coming by, everybody. Thank you for everybody in chat, keeping us interested in all the things you're saying. I wish I could be a little bit more interactive with chat, but then I'm not good at dividing my attention 5 ways. Have a good night, everyone. Or day, if you're Australian or somewhere else. We will see you.